Once again, Sports Jazz, thank you so much for tuning in. Josh, Isaac, we are back. Josh, I don't know whether you were saying peace. I didn't get that. I didn't understand what you were saying.
Yeah, like we're ready to
Josh, Isaac,
go.
please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. We usually don't do Saturdays. We usually don't do weekends, but it's an exception today. It's bad news. It's tears all over. Andre Onana has been injured and is out for 6 to 8 weeks. Josh, I don't know what United is going to do because I don't know. Some say it's a blessing in disguise because I know they've been calling for Onana's head. They've been asking for a replacement. It could be a blessing in disguise, but as it stands, unless we're putting Tom Heaton or Bahinda in the goal, we need a goalkeeper, Josh. It's bad news. It's sad because we don't like Onana that much. I mean, I'm not a fan, but at the end of the day, he's our first choice goalkeeper, and him being injured right now is not good news at all. Once again, please do subscribe. I have Josh in the building, Isaac, Sports Jazz. Hit and like that or smash that like button, and please join the Sports Jazz family. Josh, Onana news. How did you take that in? Are you part of those that were celebrating? Are you part of those that are sad? Or you're in between there? You don't know where you fall? Because it's a
I do
mixture
know where
of
I fall, but
reaction.
there's just a bit of mixed feelings because any distraction to our preparations for the new season is not a good thing. The fact that Onana is the most experienced goalkeeper that we do have, and the goalkeeper that we do think going to take us into the season, given our financial circumstances. You did think that
Yeah.
even if you want to replace him, if push comes to shove and you cannot replace him, at least you have him available. He's not injured. But to me, as a fan, I mean, I welcome the news with some some grin on my face because I mean, I've wanted a goalkeeper. I've wanted United to sign a new goalkeeper, and maybe the Lord wants United to perform much better next season. So
But just not under the circumstances. Really?
he's sent us this gift of Onana being injured, so forces Man United to find money and maybe buy
Mm.
Diogo Costa. Diogo Costa has been linked to Manchester United for a period of time. He's flirted with Ruben Amorim for a period of time, and earlier in the season we did get to know that he's available for 50 million pounds. But this is a top quality goalkeeper. I mean, Ter Stegen at Barcelona, even if he still wants to remain at Barcelona and he wants to stay out there, Hansi Flick has hinted that
He
he's not
made
going
it
to be
clear.
his number one guy. He's made it clear
Yeah.
that he won't be his number one guy in goal. And Ter Stegen is a proven shot stopper and stuff like that. But it will be difficult for a club like Manchester United under the circumstances to sign Ter Stegen because we do not have the money to actually pay his wages. I believe he's on high wages, and coming to Manchester United will only inflate his wages. So I don't think that we shall be able to get a player like Ter Stegen, but Diogo Costa is on the cards. 50 million quid, we should be able to sign a player like
He's still
Diogo
young, by
Costa.
the way.
He's a
But I don't see.
capable
I know,
replacement.
Josh. That is true, but I don't see him leaving, Josh. I don't see him leaving and
No, but Porto is
joining
ready
Man
to cash
United.
in.
I don't see him leaving Porto. How
No,
much?
they're ready
You
to
said
cash
50
in.
million? We don't have that amount,
Yeah,
Josh.
yeah, we do
See,
that. That is the problem. That is the problem. That's why I tell you that I received this news with mixed feelings. Much as I've wanted Onana to leave the club for such a long time, or Man United to go into the season with a better goalkeeper, I have thought that maybe Onana would be uh, a player who is sold and we get some money from his sale. But him being
well,
injured, he has just played into not being sold in this transfer window because he gets back
I
maybe a
know
week into
because
the season, so
no one can
he's
buy
set.
him now.
Yeah, he's
No
set
one
for
can buy
this
him now.
window.
I think the reality is him being out now the easiest option would have been Emi Martinez, the
No,
30,
no, no,
32
no,
year
no,
old.
no,
I'm
no,
just saying,
no, no,
Josh,
no.
Emi
How
Martinez,
is
hear
it
me out.
easy?
Hear me out.
Yes.
Hear me out. For Emi Martinez, that would be the best option. The only reason, the only issue is he's very costly at his age. He's around 40 million pounds, and I do not agree with United now spending 40 million pounds for any player, or rather on any player who's beyond or who is above 28 years, especially if it's a keeper, because
I
32
don't have a
years old,
problem. I don't
I
have a
think he's
problem
already
with
hit
that
his toe.
because
No,
United
no,
is
no, I
not
have a
an
problem with that.
academy.
But him being a better
United is
keeper,
not an
he's
academy. If
he's played Josh in the Premier League. I
why
think
I don't
he's
even
proven,
understand
Josh.
why
He's
you.
proven.
I don't. I don't agree with you when you say that the easy option is Emi Martinez. Why Emi Martinez?
If it wasn't for his
Diogo Costa is a far better keeper. Is a better goalkeeper than Emi Martinez.
reality wise,
He can.
Josh, reality wise,
What do
Emi
you mean
Martinez
reality?
has
Emi,
already made it. Listen, he has already informed Aston Villa he wants to move. So it's very easy
yes.
to get a player like him. I'm not saying
No,
he's the
but
best
Diogo Costa
option,
is also
but right
Porto has
now
put
he
Diogo
would suit in
Costa.
so well.
No, Diogo Costa is also up for. He's on the market. Diogo Costa is a player on the market.
Do you
So I
think it
mean,
would be
if
easy if both players
there's
were
no
up for sale? Who do you
transaction,
think would be easy to get?
there's no transaction that is easy because even Mbumo, we've seen Mbumo's transaction
Well,
drag on
Spurs
for
begs
40
to
days.
differ. Spurs begs to differ. In 24
Yeah,
hours, they almost
because
closed two deals. It's because that the
no,
Gibbs situation has now turned, but they almost closed two deals, Josh. They had a deal on the
exactly,
table.
but yeah, but when you have people like Ineos at Manchester United who do the right things and do the job well, you don't get problems with tapping players. Now, Spurs, the one that you are waxing lyrical about having signed that almost two players, they have a lawsuit on their hands because they
Mm.
tapped a player. Yes, which is illegal. I mean, do the things right. Buy the players the right way. Do the proper transactions. It's even very laughable that Spurs got to do that. I
Why
mean,
is it laughable?
in this day
Oh,
and age, why would you do something like that? I mean,
Josh,
you know the repercussions that you're going to face.
come on. We've seen Mbappe, Madrid, PSG saga actually still ongoing. We've seen that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that is
yeah.
not new. For as long as the team is interested in a
No,
player and the
whatever
player
is
is ready to
illegal.
move
No,
and
no,
you
no, no.
meet their
Whatever
release clause, you shouldn't put up a fight.
you should. You see, what you don't understand is now Victor Yokeres. Yeah, Victor Yokeres. Under the
Yeah.
circumstances, there's nothing illegal. Okay,
No, there's
but
a lot
if
of
Arsenal,
confusion, by the way, there
no, yes,
in
but
the
there's
clause.
nothing illegal. The confusion is there, but there's nothing illegal. If, for
Do you know why
instance,
Nottingham
Arsenal,
Forest want to sue, or rather went to the law, or rather went to, is it the FA or something? It's because they think they did not. In other words, they did. Spurs did what Barcelona usually does. You know, when Barcelona is interested in a player, sometimes they pass. You know, they go straight to La Liga, pay the money that side. So by the
no,
time the
that is
clubs come
no, no,
decide
no,
to
no, no.
make a
That
lot
is
of drama
wrong.
and everything,
No,
the
no,
player
no,
is
no, no.
already
That
done. But I'm saying, Josh,
it.
I'm saying so with Nottingham, they feel it was too fast. They contacted the player. The release
No,
clause is there, 60 million pounds,
they
Josh. Spurs is ready to cash in. And I think they feel, because first of all, they need to get a replacement. But I think they feel they should have at least received, or I would say maybe more money, 80 million.
no, 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 not at all. It's not about the money. It's about tapping the player. You see,
That is
the
usual. That
Spurs
is
does
common.
not
I
be,
don't know why they are
Nottingham
mourning
Forest.
about that.
No, Nottingham Forest does not believe that this release clause was public. In one way or another, they don't believe that this release clause was public.
Then
Spurs
how did
ought
it come into
not,
existence?
yes, or Spurs ought not to have known about this release clause. And the thing that you say that Barcelona normally does in La Liga, that is how they conduct business. When you have a release clause, the player is the one who takes the money to the FA, and it's done like that. But not in the Premier League. The Premier League, the transactions have to be done with the clubs and stuff like that. So, I mean, yes, you can say that tapping players is as old as anything in football, but just don't get caught. They got caught. Spurs got caught. I mean, they
I think
did.
they're just being salty, Josh.
They're not being salty. Whatever
They're
is
just being
illegal is
salty.
illegal.
If the
What
player
is
wants to move, the
it doesn't
Spurs
matter.
has the
Then
money, the right money.
why
Why
be
would you keep
illegal
someone
about
who
it?
doesn't want to stay?
Brandon Bomo is at Brentford, and Victor
Yeah.
Gyökeres is a player of Sporting Lisbon at the moment.
Mm.
You know why? Because they have contracts with
The
these
two are
clubs.
different when it comes to
Yes, but
clauses.
no,
Gyökeres had
not
a clause that would that should be rather that was activated. I don't remember the date, but in July. With Mbeumo, there is no clause, Josh. So it's different.
even no.
It's
Listen,
because United is
even
currently short on money. But if
even
if they had the
no,
money, it would be closed already.
Isaac, even with Victor Gyökeres, there is no release clause. If there was a release clause, it would have been paid, and the
Josh,
player would be out of
there
the
is a
club.
clause.
There is
I
no
don't
release
remember the
clause.
exact
There was
money,
a
but
verbal agreement. There
from
was a
what I
verbal
understand,
agreement.
every time those guys, or rather, every time a bid is tabled and Sporting Lisbon says otherwise, they're supposed to pay the agent around 8 or 10 million euros, something like that.
No, that was not a release clause. Okay, they put a condition in the contract of Gyökeres that if by the first day of July a bid comes, a bid is tabled to the club that is beyond, was it 60 million euros, and the club
Mm,
says no to the bid. Okay, then it will attract a commission of 10 million of 10% of that bid to the agents, to the agent's fees. But by that time, there was no bid that was ever tabled. Actually, as we speak today, we do not know if Arsenal has yet tabled a bid for Victor Gyökeres, because Victor Gyökeres is the one who is making all the noise to leave the club and go to where he wants. You can
well, we
believe
don't
that
know
the
who to
agents,
believe. We don't know who
you
to
can
believe
be
on those, either the president or rather either the club or
okay.
Jokeres and his agent, because each
Okay,
one of them is
nonetheless,
saying otherwise.
yes, but Isaac, you've not seen any there's not been a bid from Arsenal for Victor Gyökeres. Has there?
No,
Have you
it's not
seen
yet.
any bid?
No,
Yes,
not yet.
there's not
From
been
what
any
I
bid.
understand, personal
So
terms
all the
agreed with the
noise,
player.
exactly. So all the noise that is coming out is from the camp of Victor Gyökeres and Sporting Lisbon, saying that the player shall go for about 80 million euros,
Mm,
altogether. So
yeah.
there has not been any bid for the player, so that you don't exactly know whether that, if there was a release clause for the player, then the release clause would have been met, and by this time Gyökeres would not be a Sporting
Josh,
Lisbon player.
let's go, let's go back to Onana. I like this.
Yeah,
Let's go back to Onana anyway.
yeah,
He's
but
out.
for Onana,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out. But for me, I don't think that Emi Martinez would be the easy choice. I still think that Manchester United would be getting the best keeper that we can get, and that is Diogo Costa. Diogo Costa is good with his feet. He's good with his hands. He has a good edge. He has the experience. He's an international proven player. He's good. He's very good. Emi Martinez is not as good as Diogo Costa, even if
Well,
he's more experienced than he is.
well, United is also just showing interest in signing Saint Lamens, 22-year-old from Real Antwerp.
Yeah,
And by the way, the rumors also won't go away. I don't know how true it is, but the rumors won't just go away. I don't know. Let's wait and see how things are going to turn out. I don't know whether it's true or not. But overall, I agree with you. I would go for Diego Costa overall. But again, to me, right now, realistically, if it wasn't for the price tag that Amy Martinez has, would have been a better option. He's proven in EPL.
mm.
He's very good, Josh, when it
Playing
comes to
catch for
goalkeeping.
me.
Not the best, but he's there. He cuts it for me, Josh. He's a showstopper, by the way. Uh, Penalties, oh my God, he eats those every day, anytime, anywhere. So it would be an easy choice, I mean, for him to join. The only problem is
Diogo Costa is very good at saving pens.
who Costa as well.
Yeah, very good
Why?
at saving
Anyway,
pens.
I've seen him on the national
Yeah,
what on the
yeah.
national
It's
team.
piece of cake, piece of
He's a good
cake.
player, but it's the same thing with Martinez. He
Yeah,
does it
but no,
anywhere on the national team,
I
in
wouldn't
the
take
Premier League club
Martinez.
level. He also does the same thing. So
I wouldn't take
just first tell me,
Martinez.
who's your best keeper? You're going to say who's your best keeper currently in EPL?
Allison.
Why do you guys rate Allison so much? I
Allison
would,
Becker is the
I would
best
pick
goalkeeper
Raya.
in. Oh
I
my
would pick
god.
Raya. I would
Oh,
pick David Raya. For real.
oh my god. Oh
I
my
would
god.
pick David Raya over
Alison
Allison.
Becker. Yo, that pasta is something else.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Oh
One of the
my
things that
god.
make
Eh,
Alison Baker
eh,
good is the defense.
blasphemy.
Yeah,
Oh
no, no,
my
no.
god.
It's not blasphemy,
Oh
Josh.
my god.
I would pick David Raya.
He's the
Actually,
defense.
Who?
Do you know that you're saying what makes Alison Becker is the defense,
Yeah, yeah. Part of it is the defense, Josh.
bro? I mean, David Raya,
And
David
now,
Raya, David
unless
Raya
the new
plays
keeper,
behind a
unless
train.
Giorgio is coming into the
David
goal,
Raya
Josh, right now.
plays behind a train
Who?
at
David Raya.
Arsenal.
Oh,
Yeah,
uh,
he plays behind a train. Saliba, Magales, Timber. As in,
well,
yo,
that's strange. See,
you would think there's a bounce. You would
that
think there's
great
a
wall was
bouncers
messed up
escorting.
was it the last 2 months of EPL? That great
Yeah,
wall was messed up. Was
you
it
would think.
Magalhaes? He
You would
was
think.
out,
Yeah, yeah, but you
yeah,
would think
for a very huge time. Calafiori wasn't doing so well.
that backline. You would think they're bouncers escorting an actress to Global Awards. I'm telling you,
To
no, just
Arsenal's
a bunch
defense.
of bouncers. Yeah, Arsenal's defense, a bunch of bouncers. Timber, Magalhaes, Saliba. There's only
Calafiori.
Lewis Kelly, who is
Oh, that kid is amazing,
not
man.
with
That
the
kid is
size,
amazing.
but he's quite
Yeah,
a player. He's quite a player.
he has the football brain. I like him. I'm not
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
an
a very
Arsenal
good
fan, but I
player.
really like him.
He's a
I really
but
like
when
his
you put
football.
Calafiori in place of Lewis Kelly, then yeah, the combo. Wait, Raya plays in front of a train. Now the pasta. Alison Becker, he's good with his feet. That guy has vision. He has
Why
a
do you call him the
pass.
pasta?
His distribution.
Is he the
He's
one
a
that
pastor
prays for the
now.
team every time they're about to play?
He's a
Every time they're
pastor
about to go
now.
into
He's a
the pitch.
pastor now.
Look,
He's a pastor now, I think.
where do you put Emi Martinez in the Premier League?
Emi Martinez, I don't even as in when I'm asked about the
Banter
best
aside, Josh.
goalkeepers,
Banter
the best
aside, considering not
what the best
full
goalkeepers
package,
in the
full
Premier
package
League or in the best goalkeepers
in
in
the
the
Premier
world.
League.
In the Premier League, he would be like where Aston Villa is. I don't know where they finished in the table, but he would be around there. Eighth, ninth, tenth, around there.
Okay, no, no, Josh, no, that is banter. That is not correct.
No, I'm telling you though.
He's
Okay, there's Alison
top
Becker.
three, top
There's
three,
okay, there's
top
Alison
three.
Becker for me. There's
Mhm.
Alison Becker for me. There's my Dutch guy, Verbrechen, the Brighton guy, Verbrechen. And
You just love Dutch
David
guys.
Raya. There's David Raya.
You put that
There's
guy over Raya.
There's Sales. Who?
You put that guy over
Verbrechen.
Raya. Yeah,
Who? No, 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 no.
yeah.
Raya is close. Raya is close.
Eh,
Raya, do you know Raya cannot make it for the Spanish national team?
wait, who's the keeper, by the way? Spanish.
Unai
Who's
Simon. Unai Simon.
by the way, I don't know.
But
But
Raya
Josh, who
is
do you
that
think is
good.
better? Okay, who do you
Raya
think
is
is
good.
better? Because you see, I'll give you an
Simon
example.
and Raya.
Yeah,
For me personally, I would say Raya, but Unai
in
Simon is good too,
England, they
and he
pick
has the
who's the current keeper
experience.
now? Ramsdale or
No,
Pickford?
the other
Or
guy
is
who
it
kicks
Pickford?
better than Onana, the kicker,
Who?
the rugby guy. He kicks
Who is
like
that?
he's in rugby. Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, that's why I said Pickford. Josh, I mean, all those players, I think they're all. I would actually pick Ramsdale over Pickford.
Oh,
Realistic,
yeah,
no,
but you
for
see,
real, Josh.
Isaac, there's this thing about the experience, the longevity that the guy has been with the national team and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
I
apart
think
from the
that's one
lapses
of the
in
reasons.
concentration, Ramsdale
That's
is
one
a
of the
good
reasons.
guy.
That's why Southgate failed. That
Mm.
what you just mentioned.
But
You
Southgate
know,
tried so many people. He gave so many people a chance. It's just
he,
that his tactics were
he
vibes
started
and
because he believed
inshallah.
in longevity and all that stuff. By the way, people who there who were, by the way, England has a very good squad, but that's for another day. Once again, guys, please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. Josh, let's go into the spoiled kid, Jadon Sancho. The saga continues. I understand there are two versions. One
Yeah.
came out yesterday saying Juventus had offered, was it 8.4 upfront plus 3 point or 4.3 in terms of add-ons. Then today we saw something different, saying Juventus and United have agreed an amount of close to 21 million euros. But the issue is still between the wages because Sancho needs or wants compensation from Manchester United, and altogether it's close to 4.3. So I don't
Yeah,
know
he's
which
a
is which,
spoiled
but
child.
all I can
He's a
say,
spoiled
I don't
child.
know when
A
this is going to
severance
end because
pay,
it should end.
just to let you in, a severance pay is paid if a contract is terminated. Okay. Now the services of Jadon
Mm.
Sancho have not been terminated at Manchester United, But why is he asking for a severance pay? He is being sold to another club. He's being sold to Juventus. Okay.
Mm.
So, I mean, to ask for a severance pay that United has terminated his contract, so we give him 4.3. Then he goes and signs on a bossman move with Juventus to give him a sign on fee. I mean,
Okay.
he should just quit football. For me, that's the understanding that I do get,
I, I
because the severance
I
pay
don't know how he
cannot
interprets
paid
because
cannot be paid for a player who is being sold to another club. It should be paid for a player if they are terminating his contract, and we are not terminating Jadon Sancho's contract. We are selling
no, we
him
are not.
to Juventus. So if we are selling him to Juventus, why does he insist that he should be paid 4.3? If it is compensation that okay, Juventus has given Man United 25 million euros, and as such, um, Jadon Sancho has agreed to cut his wages from say 250 to 180. Then he demands compensation from Man United for the period of the contract that has not been what, which is 4.3 instead of blah blah. Then that would be understandable. But severance pay, I don't believe
Man,
that.
that Sancho transfer saga at United has been ongoing for a long time. I mean, because I understand recent developments have indicated the club is actively looking to move the winger, 25-year-old. That's why they've been loaning him to Dortmund. They tried it with Chelsea. We actually came this close to letting him join Chelsea, but again, he acted up. And with the amount of money that United pay, they are even still paying Josh from considering what you said yesterday.
I
The total
know.
amount is supposed to be 73 million pounds. Okay,
Yes.
he signed
Yes.
from Dortmund. That was 2021 under Ole, and
Yeah.
ever since then, it has not been so well. Josh, I would say actually for me, is one of the worst signings for Man United. We saw
I
his
think he is the
inconsistent
worst.
performances
I
under
think
Eric
he's
Ten
the
Hag.
worst.
Josh, it looks like it's still going. I mean, the loan spells at Dortmund, Chelsea last season, and then he comes back. And right now, from what I understand, I thought it's around 250, but it's close to 300,000, Josh, Sancho's wages. It's close to that. That's how
Oh,
bad it is, So it's a lot of money. But my whole point, this is my point. I do not understand why, because it's not like it's a bit different with Bale's situation at Madrid. Bale wanted to
yes.
play, but he was just not.
Given
Zidane
a
wasn't
chance.
just giving him a chance, So it was completely
Yeah.
different. But with
Yeah.
this dude, he doesn't want to associate himself with anything related to Man United. He goes
Yeah.
to his social media handles. He puts off anything that relates him to Man United. He starts mocking, sending funny messages via his social media outlets or
He's a
handles.
freedom
Sorry.
fighter.
On top of that, he tries to, the freedom thing when Rashford joined Aston Villa. We saw how that worked out, by the way. Turned out to be a clown. He's a clown. I'm sorry to say that. And you do not want to play for the club. You don't want anything that connects you to the club. In the same sentence,
You want the money.
they connect you to Chelsea. You don't want to go. Chelsea is willing to offer 180 to 200 per week, but you want to earn more than what even Cole Palmer and Caicedo earn. You get the kind of joker he is. You go to
Yeah.
Fenerbahce, comes, they offer you 160 per is it per week? He still says no. Now Juventus is in the mix. I understand he's agreed to take a pay cut. I think he sees that he's losing, but only if United uh, give him 4.3 million pounds in terms of compensation. Now, if you're not a joker, I don't know
I
what kind
think
of
we
player
should
that you
I think we should negotiate with Juventus to give us that money, and we give it to him, and
are.
we cut ties and he goes.
Who? No, no,
Juventus gives
just
us 25
how
million
much?
euros.
No, they are not going to give
You,
us 25 million euros.
if they're giving
You
us
saw yesterday
21.
rumors that they were paying 8.4 million pounds
Nah,
plus
you see,
add-ons
for
4.3.
me,
I
I
don't know whether
believe
true or
I
not,
believe
but
it's
it's a
not true.
shame.
I believe because it's Manchester United, there's so much rubbish that
Exactly.
goes around the club. I mean, everyone actually, a guy can just wake up in the morning and create a story around Man United, and Man United has global fans. We are going to get a hang of it, and we tread this news as if it is a gospel truth, but I don't believe in much of the stuff that is said around Man United. I don't
Mm.
think that if Manchester United put up the player for sale for 25 million euros, they would be negotiating with a team that is giving them 8.4. They're not going to be negotiating. That is not a transaction worth entering, because it was
By the
clear
way,
they offered this player 20 that is on the market for 25 million euros.
now that you've talked about it, Chelsea paid, excuse me, Chelsea paid Man United 5 million
5
pounds
million. Yes.
because they breached the contract, right? Or because it
Yes.
was an
Yes.
obligation to buy.
Yes.
If he wants 4.3, get rather get the 4.3 of that 5 million that Chelsea gave you.
No, no, no. That's not
Give
free
him, let
money.
him go.
No. No, 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 no. It's not
No,
free
I'm just
money.
saying, I'm,
You see, we
anything
don't
to let
want
him
to
go, man.
waste. Yeah, yeah, anything to let him go. I'm all for that. But I'm saying, whoever is taking him, at least negotiate that if we were getting 25 million euros for Sancho, let us get the 21, and then we use the 4.3 to actually give him a compensation to go, because if he stays, he has 2 years or a year left on his contract. Then
Yeah,
what? Yeah. So
but
what
there's also
happens
an
is
option. United
the
can also
option will
trigger that
never be
option.
activated. No, it can't be
No,
triggered
do you know why it could be
because it is
activated? Because it was
no
done with Pogba,
to
it was
sell
done
him.
with Anthony Marshall.
To sell him.
Yeah,
No, we didn't
73
have. No,
million
we didn't
pounds is
have.
a lot of money. So for him to work on a free transfer, Josh, we
Yeah,
paid
but we didn't
Pogba
have.
for Pogba
Look,
90 million pounds. He worked on a free.
look. We didn't have proper structures at the club. So the guys who were at the club
Fuck
maybe
all
were
boy.
lazy and they were just doing things like that. But I don't
Mm,
think that Ineos would trigger an extension of a year for a guy like Jadon Sancho that they've been trying to get rid of. So I
mm.
mean, if he has a year left on his contract, and the year would amount to say 15 million euros, if you're getting 21 million euros, and you give him 4.3 instead of 15, yeah, that would be okay. So he goes, because we need
Uh,
to have him.
we need the
But I,
money.
I
And
just
yes,
believe there's so much news around Juventus and Jadon Sancho, which is not true.
but we need the money. We need the money. We need money. Because
Yeah,
look
yeah,
now,
yeah, we do.
Onana is out.
Now Diogo
We need
Costa.
a keeper. We
Now
need
we
a
need a
keeper.
keeper. Oh,
And
but
if
we
it's a
needed a
keeper,
keeper.
let
We
us not
needed a
gamble.
keeper
Let us
so
get a
bad.
good keeper.
We
So
needed
so
a
bad,
keeper so bad. I
so
just don't
bad.
want us
That's
to
why I
go
said
and
it's a
buy
blessing
those.
in disguise.
Yeah, I just don't want us to go and buy those 22-year-old keepers at
You
Elements
really
is
have
a
an
good
issue.
guy and what.
You really
No.
have an issue with that age, Josh.
Yes, because we are not an academy. If we were playing under seven, but we are playing the Premier League, there's no age attached to the Premier League. By the way, if I'm a Manchester United fan and I want to win football games, I want to have Brani Mbomo. I want to have Matthias Cunha. I want to have a 26-year-old Victor Osimhen.
Striker.
I want
Mm.
to have Diogo Costa, who is 24, 25 years old. I want to have players who are ready to play, because Manchester United has bought the most young talent in Europe in
The
the past two
Ederson
seasons.
in the
In the
midfield.
past in the past 2 seasons, we've bought
Mm.
the most young talent around Europe.
But
Okay,
we've also
so
signed very old talent, but old players. Maybe it's because they've been coming
no,
on a free transfer.
no,
Zlatan, Falcao,
no.
Sancho,
I'm talking about the
Cristiano.
last 2 years. I'm talking about the last two
Okay, okay,
years.
okay. My bad. If it's
Since
the last two
Ineos,
years,
yeah,
okay.
since Ineos came in through the door, Ineos
Mm.
has tried to make sure that we do things different. So if we don't have the money to buy the ready players, say Lamine Yamal, we cannot afford to buy him. Can we make a Lamine Yamal? So we went and bought Samuel Lusale. We went and bought JJ Gabriel. We went and bought Chido Obi Martin. We went and bought Aiden Heaven. We went and bought who else did we get? You
We
see,
have
we've
Sekou
gotten
Kone. We have by
Sekou
the
Kone. You
Chido
see,
Obi Martin.
yeah, we've
Yeah.
gotten over 16 players in the last two
There's
years who
also
were
one we
young.
signed 2 days ago who has gone back to
Big,
the other side. Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, Kala Big, you know. So I mean, these are players. So at the point, I'm looking for players for the first team. I don't want at 22 years old, in 5 years he will still be a Man United player. I don't want that rubbish. I want a player who is going to come to Man United and perform. I wanted Diogo Costa, who has been tried and tested. He's going to come and perform. I don't want a guy who is going to come and be collecting pension at the Emi Martinez. Because for me, I believe if you're puked from Aston Villa, you shouldn't be getting a chance
This
to play for Man United.
this guy.
I'm telling you,
I
if Aston Villa has puked you, I don't think that Manchester United should be doing the mopping,
okay,
unless
that
you're
is
Ollie
very funny.
Watkins and you're
That is
coming on loan.
very very funny. Once again, guys, please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. Josh, earlier today, I saw
Yeah,
someone ranting. I don't remember. Let me try to check. I think his ex-handle is Man United Forever. He's a very good guy. He's a staunch United fan. He's always sharing content about United. But he wrote something where he said, immediately after United sacked Ole and appointed Eric Ten Hag, we spent the entire season chasing Frank de Jong, only to
yeah,
panic and buy Casemiro for 70M at a
yeah,
stretch, which is correct. He went on to
yes,
say, now we are here again with the new manager. It's the same old story. We've been circling Brian Mbeumo all summer. Brentford are stalling, and now that Nottingham Forest have submitted a fresh new bid for Johan Wissa, the bees are even less likely to sell both their key attackers. In other words, he was trying to say, if we were serious with Mbuemo, you should have walked into Carrington weeks ago. Amorim needs time to drill his system, teammates, chemistry, blah blah blah. In other, he was blaming the board and all that. And my
yeah.
take on
But that
that,
for
Josh,
me,
it's completely different to how it was a few seasons ago. I would say two
yeah,
seasons ago to now.
sure,
Back then, maybe yes, there was money, but right
yeah,
now, United does not have the money. Because see,
exactly,
you bought Lukaku for close, it was 75 plus 15 in add-ons. That is close to 90. You get it? £1 million. You bought Pogba for 89.3 million pounds, Josh. You bought Anthony Marshall back then for 36, but with add-on close to 50 something. But the total amount paid was around 44.7 million pounds because there was an add-on that was activated or that was met with the player, the years he spent at United. On top of, was it the years? Or I think it's got to do with
you won a
UCL.
Europa
Yeah,
League
yeah,
and
yeah.
what
It
and
got to do
shit
with
like
UEFA.
that.
On top of that, you have Harry Maguire, 80 million pounds, Josh. You have Luke Shaw, who barely plays. He's on very high wages. You have Anthony, who has just signed, 80 million pounds. Yet at the beginning of the transfer,
I wish
we could
that
have
guy
got him
was.
for,
I wish
we
that
could have
guy had
received him for
tuned
even
in so
40
he
something.
listens to you. He
We could
listens
have
to you
received
and he
him for
gets
40
it.
something pounds. You get it at the transfer. But because these guys waited towards the end of transfer, Ajax had no solution but to, give us that sprite, pay this amount of money if you want to take him because it's late. You get, and very many other players. You have Jadon Sancho, 73 million pounds. And right now we are struggling to even raise 20, rather to sell him for 15 million pounds. So now, if you bought a player like Pogba for 90 million pounds, Josh, okay, he works on a free transfer. Buy
Yeah,
a player like Anthony, 80 million pounds. You haven't even sold him yet. He barely plays for you, and the wages keep coming in. You have Jadon
yeah.
Sancho, 73 million pounds. You're still paying because it was in partial, rather in installments.
This
This
summer we
very year,
paid for
this
Jadon
summer,
Sancho.
we are paying for Jadon Sancho. People don't understand that. Yet we are
Anthony,
trying to sell him.
Casemiro, Jadon Sancho, and Onana.
Onana, we are
We
paying for
paid
them.
for them.
Yet with Jadon Sancho, as we are paying for his transfer, we are also trying to sell him, but for an amount that does not even, rather that is not even
Not
close to
even
20
half.
million pounds. Not even a quarter.
Not
That's
even
how bad it
half.
is.
Not even
You
half the
had
money we bought him.
yet Tony Marshall walk out on a free transfer. Now, for those of you that are saying, I mean, even if United had the money right now, PSR would not allow it. It will be an issue for Man United. I mean, where are you getting the players if you're not selling? Rather, where are you getting the money to buy the players if you're not selling?
Yeah,
Chelsea are selling players every day. City are selling players. Arsenal are selling players. Liverpool is the same, although this season they haven't really, okay, not a lot. So with
yeah.
United, we are selling more.
Konate could still be sold to Real
No, he
Madrid
has
this season.
refused. He said he's ready to
Yeah,
run down his contract. So
exactly.
for
He
those of
could
you that
still
don't
be
understand,
sold. He could still
exactly,
be
you have
sold.
Rashford, who a homemade, oh, in other words, how do they call it? An
Homegrown
academy
talent.
graduate. that
Mm.
has failed. Everyone is running away from him. You have Ganacho, it's the same story. All these guys on high wages and they're not playing now. How do you expect Man United to operate if they don't even all those players that I've mentioned? Some have left on a free transfer, some are still available, and we cannot even find suitors. Those that are Anthony, look at him.
You
Betis is
couldn't have
struggling to just raise 30 million pounds.
you couldn't have said it any better,
You know,
because
I
the
see.
thing is,
Mm,
much as we do have that money, even when we have gone below, so low, and we want to sell the player for 30 million euros, it is difficult to sell him for the 30 million euros because he's earning 200 per week.
exactly.
Betis is not willing to pay that kind of money. He's earning 150 per week. I mean, the highest guy that they do have could probably be earning something around 70 per week. So it
Mm,
becomes very difficult for these players to be moved on. But you see, he says whatever he said, relating Frankie De Jong to the situation of Brandon Mbeumo is to actually have blinded yourself with the realities of the football
exactly.
club. Because if you do love the football club and you know everything that you have said right there, I don't think you would still be saying that Man United should have signed Brandon Mbeumo weeks ago. We do want to sign Brandon Mbeumo. That's why we are actually flirting with Brentford and trying to negotiate it down. But we do know that we must do it right. We must not be bullied into buying a player extraordinary amounts of money. But I also do not understand why we think that 70 million euros for a player as good as Brani Mbomo and
Mm,
the stuff that he has done at Brentford last season is too much money. Because for me, I don't think it is too much money. If you're going
I
for
also don't think.
if a player like Elanga, he's going for 55 million pounds,
And you have
Elanga,
Mbemo who
8 goals.
20 goals.
Ganacho had a season to forget.
He
He
could go for
scored six
70.
goals. He scored 6 goals.
I know.
And Elanga, who scored 8, I mean, yes, he
No,
had
Gibbs, Josh. Gibbs,
no
60
Gibbs.
million
Okay,
pounds.
okay,
Okay,
maybe
he's not yet
maybe
through. It's
maybe
not yet through,
maybe
but
the
I'm just
stats
saying.
maybe the stats are lying, because those are better players. Gibbs and Elanga, at least they've had beautiful seasons, even if they've not done the other things right.
Mm. I know. So anyway, and besides, I saw someone also on internet saying, but we have 100 million. Because you remember at the beginning of the transfer window, it was rumored that United has 100 million pounds. Now, for those of you that do not understand, we paid. Is it the total amount is 62.5 for Matthias Cunha? But we are paying that amount in 3 installments. The first installment was 20.5 million pounds. Next summer, it's going to be 20, and the other one as well is going to be 20. Now, unless you're saying we pay all this other balance to get Mbeumo, how are we going to get the other players? Because United's strategy was the same strategy they used for Wolves, thinking they're going to go to Brentford, offer, okay, reach a price, whatever it is, but pay them partially, in installments, which
Yeah,
Brentford said otherwise. They said no, we want
yeah, because
almost all the money. These guys still
Brentford
don't
is
understand
also
that.
into deep. They need money to meet
Mm,
the PSR. But for me, I believe that this PSR business is actually a very is a hindrance to progress of football, because I
mm,
mean,
mm.
football clubs should be able to replenish their squads and be able to compete at the highest level. So what you're doing is you're actually curtailing the Premier League clubs from being able to be competitive. I know it is a good model for businesses that they should be self-sustaining and stuff like that, but it kills the potential of Premier League clubs to be able to buy the best talent in Europe and actually be able to be very competitive, because then
Correct.
the hindrance comes from a club like Man United. It can go under easily, because it cannot sustain itself in the league, because they cannot replenish their squad. They have to fight so hard to correct the problems of 10 years ago, when you didn't have these PSR rules in place. Uh, and we are fighting to correct the wrongs that were made a long time ago, and it's going to take some time. So in that time, So God help us. I mean, you can go under, you can fail to remain competitive in the league, and yeah, a giant like Manchester United is relegated.
Man, very sad times for Man United. Hi, Sinan. Hi, Abayomi. Shout out to you. Sinan says, Sinan was
Sorry,
saying
sorry.
something. It's okay. It's okay.
S-
Those guys are
That's
talented.
Israel. That's Israel.
Yeah. Sinan was saying those guys are talented. Sinan was saying those guys are talented, but indisciplined. That's why they are failing. And no, rather, no one wants to buy them, which is true. Indiscipline.
Yeah,
Sancho, Garnacho, a bit of Rashford, but Rashford has really kept a low profile. You know, he has his head down. He doesn't want to get into more drama. But let's wait and see. Maybe
yeah,
the good
but
news I can
I
give.
mean, he creates drama around himself because for you to go and pick a YouTuber from the La Liga to say that you want to go and play for Barcelona, he's vending himself to a football club that is
I know
broke and a fraud in itself. They cannot register a player. Even if they signed him, and this is the
you're
team
calling
you want to
Barcelona
go to,
fraud.
yeah, it's a fraud. It's a fraud of a club. I mean, the things that they
How long
do
did
at
it
that
take Danny
club,
Olmo to play?
a whole 6 months. And
Man,
even when he started to play in January, it looked like they had only begged for minutes, and not full 90 minutes. And it's sketchy.
horrible.
And you know the guy at Athletic Bilbao, the president of Athletic Bilbao actually came out and told us that the La Liga president, that's Tebas, Tebas
That one
had
is also
let him
very,
in.
very
Yeah,
controversial.
that Tebas had let him in on what is happening at Barcelona, and he told them these guys are not going to be able to register Nico Williams.
Yo, by the way, that's why the deal fell through. Shameful.
Yes,
But Nico
yes,
Williams also
very
talked about
shameful.
it. The deal they were
Yes.
giving him, 1 year of Spotify, is it what and what? Crap.
So Marcus Rashford, with all his freedom fighting, is going to have what boots
Who?
or Messi's t-shirt.
I don't know, but yeah, just some positive news. Man United have raised close to 21.2 million in the transfer market, and guess what? They've not sold nothing. 5M termination fee for Jadon Sancho from Chelsea, 7.6 incoming from Alvaro, sell on close to Real Madrid, 6M coming in from Elanga, sell on close to Newcastle, and 2.6 coming in from Oyedele Max,
Yeah,
sell on close
that is
to
that is
Strasbourg.
very positive actually for Manchester United, because this, you have to be clever on how you're going to get money. I think the lawyers of Man United were very
Mm,
clever when Chelsea came for that loan deal of Sancho, and they put in that obligation to buy. I mean, when they put in the obligation to buy, the lawyers must have said, okay, yeah, yes, there's an obligation to buy here, but look here. I mean, if you don't do what you said you're going to do, then you have to pay us £5 million.
mm.
Yeah, which I think was a very good thing. And these sell-on clauses have helped United because most of the players that we've sold, like the situation with Carares. Actually, let me talk about Carares.
Yeah.
This guy Alvaro Fernandez.
Hmm.
You remember Alvaro Fernandez, the guy who was out on preseason tour with Eric Ten Hag? And yeah, he played well, and we all thought that he was the guy who was going to start for the games and stuff like that. Then we started to loan him here and there. Then we brought in Malasia, um,
Oh
and
my God, I even
it
forgot,
didn't work out.
forgot about
Yeah, it didn't.
Malaysia.
Yeah, it didn't work out with Malasia. But for me, I do believe that the problem with United and Alvaro Fernandez started when we needed to sell players and we couldn't sell players, because the summer, if I
They
remember
needed the money.
correctly, yeah, the
Mm.
summer, if I remember correctly, that Alvaro Fernandez left first on loan to Benfica, eventually to Benfica, is the time that we even sold a player for 700,000 pounds. That is
I know.
Donny van der Beek.
And
We just
by
needed
the
to
way, oh
accumulate
my God,
money.
thank you,
Yes,
Josh. How much did we pay for Donny? Close to 40.
24, 34, 34.
Where? Yeah, close to
We paid
40.
like
Anyway, you can
34.
see,
Yes.
and we had to sell him for 700,000. Can you imagine? Again, PSR. Salia, what up, Salia? Sonny, shout outs to you. Salia says
What
the
of
last thing we need
Salah?
next season, the last thing we need next season at our club is another necessary distraction from anyone. Amorim should not give any player power again and should stay obvious away from Gyökeres. Get us a Simhen. By the
Hundred percent,
with what
100%.
Gyökeres is doing, look, I'm a fan of. I would pick Gyökeres over Simhen, but with
No,
what Gyökeres is doing at
oh.
Sporting Lisbon,
I think
I
we
don't think
should get into
that
that.
is in
Should we
discipline.
get into that? Oh, these are players we are not going to have, so we shouldn't get into it.
No,
Because
no, we could get
Osimhen
into
for me all day,
uh,
every day.
Josh. We have 5 minutes. Let's get let's, Josh. Right
Salia,
now,
Salia, oh, I'm with Salia. I choose
Josh.
Osimhen.
If we are to go with stats, if we are
Yes,
to go with what's happening right now,
yeah,
I think Gyökeres is doing better. But in
yeah.
terms of discipline, with what I've seen, Gyökeres
This,
and your agent, it's
by
just
the
like
way,
what we're having right
by the
now.
way,
Ganacho and
no,
his
no, no,
brother,
no,
the
no, no, no,
agent.
no, 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 no,
No,
no, no.
so that's why I
You
agree with
cannot equate.
Salia. Ganacho
No,
should
no,
leave.
no.
People that are a
You cannot
distraction should leave.
equate. You cannot equate what Gyökeres is doing
No,
to what Garnacho is doing.
I'm
Not
talking in
at
terms
all.
of discipline with his
Yes,
agent coming
yes.
out
No,
around
no, no, no,
lambashing
no,
the
no.
club in the media and all
No,
that.
no, 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 not at all. Not at all. By the way, Gyökeres has a right to do whatever he is doing if as the statement he put out is to be believed, that the
Mm.
club owes him a duty. You know, they did tell him something,
They had
and
a
now
verbal
they're
agreement.
going,
Yeah.
yes, and now they're going back on the things they did tell him. He has every right to actually have an outburst. For
Mm.
there is no footballer in world football who would be disrespected by the football club and not come out to leave. If you can say, if you were saying that it was a case of Coutinho at Liverpool or Michael Owen at Liverpool, when against
Mm.
all odds they chose
No,
to
continue.
leave, put in a transfer request and what, that is not the case. Gyökeres is actually disappointed that Sporting Lisbon has treated him like this. Remember, Gyökeres had an opportunity to leave Sporting Lisbon the other summer and the other January. He chose to stay. So the verbal agreement, we all knew that he had an opportunity to leave. He chose to stay. So the
Yeah, he
verbal
chose to
agreement
stay.
at the
Correct.
time was, once you've stayed, we are going to actually sell you the next summer. Now the next summer has come, and you're shifting goalposts.
Well, the president says otherwise. Sporting
Yeah, yeah,
Lisbon
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
the problem is it was a verbal
I
agreement. So
cannot believe the
his words
president. I can't
against
believe.
theirs, their words
I can't
against
believe.
his.
I can't believe the president. Gyökeres is more believable than the president,
But okay, Josh.
because the president is about money. Gyökeres is about the football.
Once again, guys, please do subscribe. Josh and Isaac, Sports Jazz, latest Man United news or transfer news. Josh, real quick, again, as we're trying to, gamble and find the solution for Mbeumo to join the club officially. Who is your preferred realistic striker
Yeah,
United should sign? Realistic
sign
striker, Josh. Yeah, sign or
at,
get. I
at
don't know, or we stay with what we have, but realistic.
with
Realistically, who do
the
you think we should keep or sign?
with the problems that have happened at Manchester United recently, that is the injury to Andre Onana. I don't think United should be signing a striker. I think we should go into the season with Rasmus Højlund. We should just go and sign Diogo Costa, so we have a keeper.
Mm,
We can build on a striker next season. This is a season
mm.
that we have a few games. We are only going to play in the domestic league, and a few cups here and there, and we are not going to be overstretched. So I mean, even Rasmus Højlund can be able to be conditioned and coached into a situation where he can score at least a goal every week. If he cannot do it, then maybe Matthias Cunha can step in, or Brani Mbomo or Joshua Zagzi for the meantime, as we wait to buy a striker in the summer. The problem is the strikers available on the market at the moment is Victor Gyökeres and Osimhen, and they're both going to move this summer. We
There's also
just don't
Ekitike.
have the. Yeah, Ekitike is overly priced, and Alexander Isak overly priced for Manchester United to compete. But I do believe that we might be able to do it next summer.
Well, Josh, Salia is saying something. Salia says Osimhen has proven himself in France, Italy, and Turkey. Gyökeres is another Hoyland type of player. One season. What makes you think that Gyökeres and his agent won't do the same to us after one year? Look, I know
Salia, I agree with you on Osimhen, but I disagree with you on Gyökeres because for me, I don't believe that Gyökeres has done anything wrong. I mean, if he was disrespected by the football club, it's within his right to actually have an outburst. It's within his right to make his point made, and the opportunity to sign for Arsenal, play in the Premier League at 27 years old, it might not come again for him. So
I think he
this
has
is an
done it in two
opportunity he
seasons
must grab.
now. Not two
Yeah, yeah,
seasons
yeah.
actually.
Three
Three
seasons.
seasons, 3 seasons.
Yeah,
But
he's
last
done
season
it in
was
3 seasons.
fantastic.
He's
Last
yeah, yeah,
season
yeah, yeah.
was out of this
It was
world.
just it was
You
just
know.
fantastic. But he has everything. He's a proper footballer. He's a proper striker. I mean, he is fast. He is deceptively fast. You can
Mm.
you don't think that he has that pace, but he actually has that pace. He has the power. He knows how to use his body. He knows how to protect
He's
the
good
ball
with yeah, he's
from
good with
two
his
men.
feet.
He can
Hmm.
score with his left, with his right. He can score with his head. I mean, he can outmuscle
He can score from
defenders and
outside the
stuff like
box,
that.
inside the
Outside the
box,
box,
good
inside the
finishing,
box.
clinical. He's
But
everything.
guess what?
But
Guess what? For Ruben Amorim's style of football, the player that we need is Victor Osimhen, because Victor Osimhen is a fox in the box. You've never seen a player with that
no,
height on him who
Josh,
does the things that Osimhen does. Osimhen will be playing just between the goal mouths, those two goal posts. That's where he's most lethal. We're not going to allow him to call him to come and play and what we're just going to ask him to play in the 6 yard box. Spend your time in the 6 yard box. This guy can score with his head, with his left, with his right, acrobatic goals, volleys, bicycle kicks. Osimhen is the real deal, bro. We just don't have the money to cut it, but I think I would even take Osimhen over Isak.
I give, I give, bro, you cooked. I give up. No, I think you just love the Nigerian. But look, realistically, there is no
Mm,
money to sign him. Galatasaray is on the edge of signing him. Is it 75 million euros plus 15 in terms of add-ons? And on top of that, Josh, his wages are really too high. And as Salia says, my realistic is Osimhen, but no money. So I would rather keep Hoyland, pair him with Umbuemo and Cunha. He has been
yeah.
isolated with two selfish players in Rashford and Ganacho. With Ganacho, I
I
do.
agree with you, bro. Man, I think you're wearing my specs.
I like the isolation thing,
you,
but
yeah,
Salia,
you're
we also
wearing
have
my
to be we also
specs.
have to be realistic again. Yes, maybe he was isolated,
We
especially
get
with
Diogo Costa. We
especially
get
with
Diogo
Ganacho
Costa instead.
fluffing the chances and everything instead of passing him the ball. The few chances that Hoyland had, he also wasted the chances. Josh,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
Hoyland scored
he
17
just
goals
tap
in his
ins. I
first
keep
season
saying
at
it
the club.
every time there was a cross coming past the goal. Hoyland was either late by a few
Yeah,
seconds or earlier by a few seconds to tap in that
yeah,
rather to
yeah, yeah,
tap
yeah,
in.
yeah. You know,
His finishing is also not
there's
very
a
good.
lot. There's a
His
lot.
ball control is as if
Yeah.
Lukaku is wearing Lukaku's boots.
No,
So
there's a lot for him to learn. There's a lot for him to learn, but it's not lost on him to learn the things that he has to do. Because if you have very good players around him, then you're going to ask him to do very limited things. So he's not going to expose his inadequacies like he was doing before. I mean, this is the
mm,
guy in his first season who scored 17 goals at the football club. I mean, he was not taking pens, by the way,
altogether,
but he scored
was it
17
17
goals.
or 16
Yeah,
altogether, all competitions?
17. 17. He
Okay.
scored 5 goals in the Champions League. I mean, he was
Mm.
among the top scorers of the
By the way,
Champions League until after the group
he also did
stages.
well in the Europa last season. He scored how many goals? 6 or 5? Not so sure, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
also
yeah.
did well in the Europa.
They're
Mm.
about. But for me, the thing is, you can actually wait for him. You can wait for him because we don't have the money to actually buy a better player, and you hope that the players that you do have hope that if he fails to do it this season, then throw in Chido Obi Martin at the deep end.
Oh yes, I would love that
Yeah,
kid to get more
just throw
game
him at
time.
the deep end. But
I would love that kid to get
I
more game
wouldn't
time. You know.
be breaking the bank to sign
By
a
the way, I hear
striker.
you, if we can get Mbwemo, and
Yeah, if we
if
can
we
get
can get
Mbomo,
Mbwemo,
yeah,
let's, if there's chance to get a goalkeeper, let's get him. If there's chance to get a
Diego
midfielder,
Costa,
let's get
yeah.
him, and a
I
CB.
don't. A
That's all.
midfield, I'm not even worried about a
No, I'm
midfielder.
worried. I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm
No,
worried.
we do need one, but
We need a
I don't
replacement
think.
for Ericsson. We need a
Yes.
replacement the other side for Lindelof. Salia is making very good points by that. He says being fast in Portugal is very different from playing against Van Dijk, Lisandro, that is Lika the Butcher, Christian Romero. Then he said the defenders in EPL are very sharper than those of Portugal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That is true. That is
that is
true.
true.
Actually, no, not even just the defenders are much sharper. The football itself is highly paced. It's a
Mm.
highly paced game, and there's not too much time
And
for
by the way,
you
it's
on the
also
ball.
physical. You
If
have to be. It's
yes,
physical. You
if
know.
you see the goals that Anthony has scored in the La Liga, that have given him all the plaudits last season, I mean, these are goals he would never ever score against a serious team,
Mhm.
even if it was Southampton,
Josh,
because
stop.
believe you
No,
me,
don't say
there are
no.
goals,
Say these
there
are
are
goals you
goals.
would struggle to score in the
mm,
Premier League, but don't say
Okay,
a
yeah,
serious team. Come on,
he would
Josh.
no, he would struggle to score these
He
goals just
struggled
because
actually. He
he
struggled.
would
We saw
never
him struggle.
he would never be given the time that he was given. There were goals that he was scoring where two defenders were in front of him and they were ball watching. They were waiting for him to do what he wanted to do. But you're going to find a guy like Mark Gehi who has
Very good
nothing
player,
to do
rather
with
defender.
protecting himself. He's just
Saliba.
going to he's going to jump into you. You're going to find
Hmm.
a guy like Magalhaes, and you wonder if he learned football or he's ready for a fight. He's going to just come and ram
Konate.
into you. You're going to,
Hmm.
yes,
And by the
he's
way, this
quick, he's strong. He's, a
yo
guy
by
like Magalhaes, a guy like Saliba, a guy like Timber. He's quick, he's strong, he has a good football head on him. So it becomes very difficult for lazy
but
players
by
or
the way,
players who are
yeah,
not that good to pull it off.
that is correct. By the way, Josh, I wanted to say that we only know those, but teams like Crystal Palace, teams like Nottingham Forest, what other teams? Those teams have very solid, huge defenders that
Yeah,
you do
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
just beat.
Nottingham Forest.
Defenders that would rough you up,
Nottingham Forest,
you
the
know,
tower.
mess with your head because you can't get past them. And the next
Yeah,
thing we've seen this, so I understand. Sinan says I'd go for Osimhen over Yokeres. Salia
same
says
here.
I'm a striker and I know how it feels to run continuously and not receive the ball in open and space play. In open
Yeah.
space play, you'll get frustrated and just want that match to end. Bro, if you're which team do you? Oh, that's very
So
good.
am
That's good
I.
stuff.
So am I. I'm a striker
Josh,
too. Man United can use my
Josh,
skills.
virtually, he's a striker. Virtually, Salia, don't
bro,
take his word.
Salia, I know what you're talking about. As in, Isaac does not understand what we are saying, but from the Strikers League, give
Mm.
Rasmus Hoyland a chance.
I think I would also like him. Anyway, let's wait and see, Josh. As if you get players like Mbwemo behind him, you have Cunha behind him, then of course you have Bruno
Fernandez,
Fernandes,
you have Amad
and
Diallo,
you
you
have
have
Ahmad
Diego Leon,
Diallo.
you have
You
Diego
have
Leon, and he's
I haven't
doing the
seen
things
Diego
that
Leon. I haven't seen
yeah,
Diego
yeah,
Leon.
yeah. No,
I
but
haven't seen
deep
Diego
down,
Leon.
my blood actually picks Diego Leon every time over Patrick Dogu because I've seen Patrick Dogu and I've not seen Diego Leon, so I would rather
The problem
see
with Dogi, he's still
the.
raw, Josh.
So is Diego Leon, but I want a guy. You can be raw, and Aiden Heaven is raw, but he's ready to play football. He
Mm,
understands the game. You can see that the things that he does on the pitch. This is a guy who appreciates the game. But Dogu, no, Dogu passes like he's lazy and things like that. What you can give him is he has the physicality to play in the Premier League. So I mean, it
mm,
will take him some time to get it right. But I hope that Diego Leo is the guy that I think that he is, because from the clips that I've watched of him, he's very good. He's a
he's
comfortable lad. He's a comfortable lad. He's a guy that I would not have qualms about playing. But yeah, Premier League is a whole other kettle of fish. So let's wait for him to start, and then we know what he's about. but I would prefer Diego Leon, Amad Diallo, Fernandez, Cunha, Mbumo, and Rasmus Hoyland. And Rasmus Hoyland, if you can't do it, I know United has a boy who can do it because the boy's movement is of a proper striker. He's
Chido
just not
Obi
ready
Martin.
yet. Yeah, he's just
Mm.
not ready yet, but you see his movement on the pitch. He wants to score. He only understands one thing: scoring goals. And I
Is it-
wish that Rasmus Hoyland becomes a bit more hungry.
Who Hoyland? Well, let's
Yeah.
wait and see. Maybe with time that will happen. But he really needs to bring his A game. He needs to pull up his stocks.
And actually, Joshua Zakzik can also, he has a very good understanding of the game. If he's pushed further forward and is asked to play in the 6 yard box, he can do it.
Who Joshua Zaxi? Oh, by
Yeah,
the way, we
he
have
can do
also
it.
Joshua Zaxi.
He can do
Let's wait
it.
and see. The only thing I'm worried about is the midfield. When I say midfield, not Bruno's position, but we
Kobe
need a
Mainu
proper
or Ugate.
DM. We need a proper DM.
Ugate is a proper guy.
We need a
Ugate is a
he
proper.
struggled last season. If I'm
Yes,
to
it
rate
was
him,
his
I'll
first
give him
season.
5. Yeah, okay, that is agreed, Josh. But still,
It was his
we
first
need someone to
season.
deputize him because Casemiro
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
legs.
yeah, yeah.
Casemiro
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah,
legs.
yeah.
And
But
again, that guy from
there's
Palmeiras,
Toby
what's his name?
Collier,
Richard
there's Toby
Rios.
Collier and Kobe Mino. There's
I
Toby
cannot put
Collier
my
and
faith in
Kobe
kids,
Mino.
Josh. How many kids are we going to have on the
See
pitch?
what you're saying. Yo, these are not kids. Kobe Mino is like 21. Kobe Collier is like 22. Those are not kids in football today.
Salia says, no, bro, play Dogu and let Leon learn. What have you
Yeah.
been seeing of Leon is a highlight and not a full match play. Dogu will be good
Yes.
behind Cunha. One thing I do
I
agree with
doubt.
this, Dogu and Ganacho
Dogu has a
failed
lot
to,
to learn.
that partnership failed, Josh. I know
Yeah.
Dog is raw. He cannot, his crosses are still not yet on point.
He's
He's good. He
passing. He's a
runs.
poor. You
That's what
cannot
I'm
be a
coming.
footballer who
He
cannot pass
runs.
the ball.
He runs very well, but the
What is he
crossing,
good at?
the
Salia,
passes.
what is Dogo good at?
Well, currently
Yes, what can you
he
say
has
that this
he
is
has
what
pace.
Dogo is good at?
Pace.
Of what what good
Okay,
is
Josh,
it
and
to
also his
him when he
defending is
can't
not so
pass the
bad.
ball?
His
But he
defending
can't
is
pass
also
the
not so bad.
ball.
Okay,
He
agreed.
cannot
But you
pass
asked
the
what is he
ball.
good at? You asked what is he good at?
What is he
His
good at?
defending is
Yeah.
not bad. The defending is not bad, Josh.
Nah.
No, seriously, the defending is not bad as well. But
And
look,
when you're wing forward, when you're wing back, actually, when you're wing back in Amorim's team, Amorim calls you a forward. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, he calls you a winger
that's why he
because
usually
he thinks
plays
of
with
you
one
as a
forward the
forward.
other side, and that will
Exactly.
be, I think,
Now,
Abadiello.
he does not want to have a winger who cannot pass the ball.
Let's wait and see how things go next.
No, I can pair.
This week.
By the way, Salia, I think I can pair Ugarte with Fernandez. It's a very good combo.
Who?
Ugarte.
Ugarte and Fernandez. Yeah, not so bad. You cannot pair Ugarte with Casemiro and expect the best out of him. Watch Ugarte on Uruguay.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
Ugarte is a proper pro.
with
I
no,
don't
I'm
know
not
if
saying he's
you
not
guys.
Josh. He's not saying.
No,
I'm not
but
saying he's
all
not,
of
but
you,
he
there's a way
needs
you all looking for a new midfielder.
no,
United
we
needs a
need
new
one,
midfielder.
Josh. Look, Josh.
Yes,
Ericsson has left. I know he
yes.
was playing way
You
up
have
further,
Kobe
but he could
Mino.
also play this side.
You have
Okay, you
Kobe
have Kobe
Mino.
Mine as a replacement,
Yes,
Josh. But we
yes,
had him also last time when Ericsson was around, Josh.
yes. Maybe we had a
Okay,
bloated squad
okay.
in the
Another
area.
one. That could be true. Another one.
Mm.
Casemiro, Josh.
Toby
His days are
Collier.
past.
Toby
He doesn't
Collier.
have
Toby
the
Collier.
legs.
You
He
have
doesn't
Toby
have the
Collier.
legs. You
You
know,
have Toby
Toby,
Collier.
how many kids are you going to put in the hole? Are you saying that Bruno Fernandes will either play with Ugarte? If Ugarte is not available, we saw it towards the end of the season. He missed
Yes,
a number
yes.
of games because he was
He plays
injured.
Collier
Is it,
or
is it
Mino. Kobe
no?
Mino has been conditioning this season to be ready to play this season. And Kobe Mino is a guy you want to play in that team. If Kobe Mino gets his bearings right and he gets his paces right, like he becomes a little quicker, I mean, he would be a very good guy.
Well, I'm not so sure about Kobe Mino, to be honest. I don't want to lie.
Yeah. Me too. But we wait and see how well he has conditioned himself for the next season because
Salia
he
says
could be the right guy.
our entire team wasn't good. Amarim won with Sporting Lisbon and lost more games with us. Does that make him bad too? To be honest, I don't think Amorim is bad, but first, his style of play is completely different with what the guys were used to. We've seen even some legends or even pundits or fans and everyone say you should switch, leave that 3-4-2-1 to the 4-4-2 or the 4-3-2-1, that kind of stuff. Then on top of that, the league is completely different from the La Liga in Portugal, Josh. That also
Yeah.
matters. And the
For me,
players to execute his his system very well, he doesn't have them. So I don't think it's bad because he went at Braga when it was chaos and brought them up to the top, won them a trophy. He went, joined Sporting Lisbon when it was rotting, in chaos, absolute chaos, brought them to the top. So I think he's a good player. Sorry, he's a good manager. He can still make wonders at Man United if he's well backed. The only problem, I'm not saying Ineos is not backing him, but the issue we have with PSR, being limited on cash and all that is playing a huge block. But I don't know, Josh, what do you think? Does that make him a bad player if he fails at Man United, yet he did good at Sporting and Braga?
Not really, but at least him having come at the time that he came, even if he didn't want to have come at that time, has maybe given him a better understanding of the league and the team that he has, so he can know that he often said it last season that the team that he had was not entirely physical enough to play in the Premier League, because when he looked at Anthony was struggling because he could not match the physicality of the league. When he looked at a certain players, I mean, they couldn't just match the physicality of the Premier League. However, United
Tyrell
played a
Malacia.
bit. Yeah, United. No, Tyrell Malacia never played under Ruben Amorim. You can't rate him.
Really?
I mean,
No, I
as
think
in
he
the
had a
guy
game or
played
two.
2 games. Yes. So why would you even mention him?
That's what I'm
He
saying.
played
He
2 games
failed
after.
completely, Josh.
Yeah,
If you
because he
get a
had been
chance and
laid
you
off
fail to
for
work
two
out,
years. He had been laid off for 2 years, bro.
Josh, it wasn't 2 years, it was 1 year.
Yeah, okay, but he had a horrible injury. Anyway, the thing though that I'm saying is, Ruben Amorim could have used that time to understand his players, to understand the squad. That's why you see the profiles of players that he's bringing in this season is much better. When you look at Matias Cunha, when you look at Brian Mbomo, the players that he has talked about, the players who are from the Premier League, they look physical enough to actually be able to operate in those positions. Those positions are very vital for his system to work. That is the 10 roles. And the wing backs are also very vital to work for him. But I don't understand how he can be a bad manager in 6 months. I know we've lost all these games and stuff like that, but I think Ineos
Horrible.
was ready, preparing. Ineos was preparing
Last season
for the
was a
worst.
disaster.
It was preparing for the worst because I believe you wouldn't have brought a manager as elaborate as Ruben Amorim mid-season if you wanted to finish fourth. You would have brought your Gareth Southgate, your Graham Potters. They hoof the ball around, they steady the ship. We finish fourth. Then this season, we bring in a bunch of
Yeah.
useless English players. Then again, United gets back to the old
So,
cycle.
so you're saying we survived the
Yeah, we did
Diblings,
survive.
we
We
survived
did survive.
what other players? A few other
Hmm?
English players. Anyway,
Jared,
Celia goes
Jared, Jared
Brathwaite.
Branthwaite, Sijui, what who would have all that Casasiro there and on high wages, moreover. So we would end up in the same situation of we can't let them go when we want to let them go. When Graham Potter is fired.
So Celia says, I'll take Richard Rios and pair him with Ugarte. By the way, Josh,
And you sit your
you remember
captain?
someone suggested
Salia,
it
would you
last time in
sit
the
your
comment section.
captain?
No, listen. Sometimes, no. This is what I'm coming to. Someone
Yes.
last time, was it Gita, suggested it in the comment section. How would it be like if Man United, okay, Josh, Tokasayo, how would it be like if Man United placed the, I mean, you have Mbuemo from the right, yeah, then Cunha left. Yeah, Josh, you're listening. You have Bruno Fernandes
Yeah.
behind those two, and you have Rios and Ugarte in the middle.
Come again?
Ugarte and Rios in the middle.
Yeah.
You have Bruno in front of them, and the
Yeah.
two players up front on the left, Cunha, then right, Mbuemo. I'm talking about the
Oh,
3-4-1-2.
oh,
I
Ooh,
think that would be
nice,
bad. That would be cooking.
nice,
Deadly,
nice,
dangerous. You know,
nice.
the wing
Oh,
backs. This,
Salia, Salia, I see how Rios gets in the squad.
you know, it
Yeah,
would be a
but
nice
the
one.
three then the three midfielders you've added
There would
Alex.
be four.
You've
There would be four, Josh.
no the three Rios, Ugarte, and
Oh, yeah,
Fernandez.
yeah, yeah.
That's the three.
Mm.
Then you have
Yeah,
up top, you have Bruno
Mbuemo.
Cunha. Sorry, you have Mbumo and Cunha. Ah la
Hmm.
la 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 la.
Then behind
Serious
there, where you
cooking.
have Diallo as your wing back, and the other side you have Diego Leon or Dalo, sorry, or
Mm.
Dogu, and in the middle here you have. Oh my God, that would
Ooh,
be
ooh, 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 ooh.
serious roasting.
Serious cooking.
Serious roasting. Sinan, this is not true. See what Sinan said, because everyone is saying they play football.
Sinan is a
Sinan
very
said
dangerous striker.
you can ask. I know nothing about guys. That is not true. That is not true.
uh,
The Glazers and Sir James are our problem, and not PSR. Chelsea is spending a billion. Man City has 155 charges and is still signing. These guys are just not willing to spend. I think
no,
the
that's not
charges with
true.
Man City are for the other are for the past seasons, right? Not
10 years
current,
ago, they're 10
you
years
know,
ago.
not current.
They're for
And
10
then with
years
the
ago.
and then with Chelsea, it's different. I think the best way to and even right now, Josh, they're selling.
I
They
can
just sold
explain to you.
Madueke. They just You're going to come in. They just sold
Exactly.
Madueke for how much? 52 or 40 or 50. Okay, close to 52
52.
altogether. They've sold around 4 players or 5 players. They already have
Yeah.
130 million pounds.
Plus the 90 million they've made at the Club World Cup.
Club
90
World Cup.
million euros.
Not forgetting that, Josh. I mean,
The
how
conference
they
thing.
managed to beat. No, forget about the conference. Okay, they won also the conference. That is also money.
Yeah.
They
Even if
finished top
it's 2
four.
million.
They finished top four qualified. That is also
Yeah.
money, Josh. In the Premier
Yeah.
League, also
Champs League.
finishing in the top four, the Premier League also gives you a certain amount of money. You get it? And on top
Yeah.
of that, Josh, I think he's saying the way they are able to sign players. Remember, Todd Boyle used to tie those players around contracts of 6, 7 years
8 years.
and 8 years, and he's done it well. And when he's been called,
Bro.
he's
Bro.
explained.
Yes. The thing is, you see, why you must know that it is about the PSR. Much as the Glazers and Jim may not want to spend money, before they've often spent money. Okay? The money has been spent poorly, but for the past 15 years,
We
Manchester
spent
United has
close
been
to a
spending
billion,
a lot of money.
close to a
Okay?
billion.
In every window. We've been
Yeah,
spending it badly. The PSR just came like what, 2 seasons ago?
yeah.
And that's why it is biting now. Now, when you talk about a club like Chelsea, the guy's model was so dope that he understood what to do. He came with his capitalism and did things different. He reached a point of even selling the real estate of Chelsea for Chelsea Football Club to make money, to make profit. So the club has made profit, so it can sustain itself. You do understand? He Chelsea bought the women's team. You get, they bought their own women's team. So
Yeah.
I mean, that is profit. They're making money, so they can spend the money. They have so many players that they have sold players. They're making money. Man City sold over 300 million worth of players in the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, over 300
Sorry.
million. Man
Mm.
City, the
By the way,
players,
they've been
they've
selling
sold over
players.
300 million worth of
The
players
Cole
in the last two
Palmers.
seasons. The Cole
They've been selling
Palmers,
players. By the way,
James Trafford, they've sold so many players. Aika
Fermin,
Gundogan,
surprising.
you know,
Mm.
hmm?
This guy who left
Gabriel
for
Jesus, Gabriel
Cancelo,
Jesus, Cancelo, Zinchenko.
Zinchenko. By the way,
Yes, they've sold so many
and good
players.
money, good money, good money.
Good
Mm.
money, yeah, good money from them. So it's not about Jim and the Glazers. I know the Glazers can be
No, the
blamed
Glazers are
for
guilty
how
as charged.
no, for me, I don't blame them for not actually providing money. They've
No, they
often
provided
provided
money,
money
but
for
they
Manchester
ran the
United.
club. like I don't know, whatever it was,
They
putting people
chose the
that are
wrong people. They chose the wrong people
exactly.
to run the club,
Yeah.
and they
So at the
watched
end of the day, it
them.
comes to them.
They watched them
Mm.
run the club into the ground. So
Then
that's what
Sally
I
goes on
blame
to
them for.
say, Sally, by the way, thanks for being active in the comment section. Sally says, as things stand, if we don't sign or support Amorim, I'm prepared for the worst next season. I've already managed my expectation with our transfer activity. Sally, you're
Yeah,
a
me
very good
too.
fan. That is what Josh was explaining last,
That's what I
saying
keep doing,
all
man.
Man United fans should know things are not going to change within a season. It's going to take us 3 or even close to 4 seasons. It's going to take us that long. So any United fan today, especially with how we finished last season, should prepare for the worst next season. If we finish above the 10th, but I mean, and we are on the first page of the Premier League, first 10, trust me, I'll say we would have really performed, or rather, I would say performed. If we finish above the eighth or eighth and above, I would say we have overperformed Josh. But the good thing right now, we have enough time to rest. We are not in we are not in any European competition. You get it. So we have time to rest. We have also time, not to deal with a lot of injuries. If the guys are taken well taken, if the team is taken, if they treat them and look after them so well. So, but first things first, we need to let go of players who are with us, who are stuck with us. We need to find suitors to let go of those players, and it's being hard. Sally, if you have a player like Jadon Sancho who's being stubborn, he's earning close to 250 to 300,000 per week. Okay, you bought him for 73 million pounds, and you can hardly find any team that wants to pay 15 million pounds for Jadon Sancho. That is a problem. That is a real problem. By the time Chelsea pays you back, or rather agrees to take a penalty to pay 5M and not to take him, that is a very, 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 very huge
Like,
problem.
yo, bruv, I would rather pay
Napoli,
you this 5 more, but
the
I can't
chairman
take
was like,
that
"What are you
trash.
talking about? Sancho? Who's Sancho?" You have players like Ganacho. No one is in for him. No one currently is in for him. You have Marcus Rashford. He's on our books. No one is in for him. You know, you have
Yeah, but
Anthony.
those
We
guys
bought
should
Anthony
lower.
for 80 million pounds, and
You know,
Real Betis is only struggling to raise 35 million pounds. So Pierre Sarah, in one way or the other, also comes into play. So I know. I don't know. Let's wait and see. 10 years ago, it was their father Malcolm Glazer, and not these money grabbers. Then he goes on to say, bro, Man City is always
no,
selling
no,
players
no,
to
no, no.
themselves through their multi-club ownership. We can do the same
Yeah,
with FC Lusane and Nice, sell Ganache to Lusane for 100 and bring him back to United. Who did they?
yeah.
But no, it's true they sold themselves a player
Who? To whom? Savinho.
to
Savinho came from Girona to Man United,
Mhm.
to Man City.
Man City. Yeah.
Yes, Savinho. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm.
I do understand that I've not actually acquainted myself very well with the rule, but I think there is an 18% ownership in the other club, uh,
Mm.
not 20%. Anything lower than 20% makes sure that you're not in indirectly or directly influencing the two clubs or something like that in their administration. But Savinho was bought for 34. It's Man City that bought. Okay. So
Mm.
that is
Mm.
money spent. I don't know a football club that Man City has sold its player to a
Okay.
sister club for big money. I
Mm.
don't know that team. And
So
you know the fraud can actually be seen. Ganacho to FC Lusane, really, for 100 million. Can FC
no,
Lusane afford 100 million?
no, I think he's saying selling to ourselves. After all, Nice and Lusana are also attached to Ineos. They're
Yeah,
under
but
Ineos.
then Lusane cannot, Nice cannot afford a player of 100 million.
But anyway, Josh, this also
And
speaks
besides, you
volume
can't do wrong
about
things twice.
Ineos. By the way, they have to vindicate themselves. They have to do well because we know Nice is not doing well. They are struggling, Josh. So Ineos really
Me,
has
I'm less
Sergi
concerned
Ratcliffe has
about
to pull
Nice
his A
because
game.
I'm less concerned about Nice. I'm not
No,
concerned about what Ineos owns. I'm only concerned
you,
about what Ineos does at Manchester United. That's all.
I think you have to be concerned because they are
I
it's
am not
still
at
the
all.
same
They
owner.
don't own Manchester United. They just have a shareholding in Manchester United and they run the operations of the football club at Manchester United. So far, what I'm seeing is good because Manchester
Shout out
United
to
has never
Adieri.
had a proper structure like they've had
Mm.
at the moment. Now we have a structure. Even if the structure is wrong, even if it's not the best, at least we've implemented a structure at the football club that can help us manage our affairs in the right manner. So even when the Ineos leaves, or someone else comes in, at least there is a semblance of a structure at the football club that we can use to move forward, than before, when there was just Richard Arnold, Matt Judge, Ed Woodward. I mean, just a single
Yes.
guy taking tea on a plane from Barcelona to Manchester United throughout the whole transfer window until that the window ended, and you can't bring Frankie de Jong, and you just tell Eric Ten Hag Casemiro is here, and
Now
you hear
70
all
20
these
million pounds.
you hear all those idiotic pundits go about Eric Ten Hag, he bought Casemiro. How do you spend 80 million? You bought Casemiro. You bought Casemiro. You bought I mean, you want to kill him because he bought Casemiro? Really? You are
That wasn't
here.
his call. With
You are
Casemiro and
here.
Rasmus
And
Højlund, it
but
wasn't
the
his call.
idiots.
He
Oh,
wanted Ken. Ken went the other side, and
I'm using I'm calling them idiots because they saw it happen. They know exactly what happened and now it happened, but they have to make news.
anyway, it's been a pleasure, man. Shout out to everyone that has been in the comment section. Adieri, staunch Newcastle fan. Salia, first time I've seen you. I don't know whether Josh you've seen it, but first time.
No,
Please do
I haven't seen
subscribe.
Salia
Subscribe,
before.
Salia. It's always busy. You will see. It's always busy. It always gets busier. Please do subscribe. And Sinan, also shout
Cheers,
outs to
bro.
you.
Cheers, bro.
Everyone that was in the comment section, please subscribe, turn on the notification. Great stream. Before we sign out, Salia says it's not Niso Lusane, it's sergeants spending money and receiving the same money.
Yeah,
I know
but
that
you know
is
it is illegal.
it is illegal,
I'm
but
with
yeah.
you. I'm actually with you. I would want that thing to happen. I mean, big boys get punished and big boys
Mm.
find their way out of situations. You know, we can do the wrong thing, but get the right players and stuff. It's just we are into deep. We're into deep.
Once again, guys, please do subscribe, turn on the notification. That was Josh and me, Isaac, officially signing out. Hit and smash that like button. See you tomorrow, but tomorrow will be a bit earlier to go through the Club World Cup finals. That is Chelsea versus PSG. Something is going to be a complete whooping. Let's wait
PSG
and
is
see.
going
Did you
to
see the
roast
interview?
someone.
Some silly journalist asking Enzo Maresca. He was like, but what are you going to do? Something, it was like, not the exact words, but he meant, what are you going to do tomorrow when you're playing Dembele? Because you guys are just going to run around trying to catch, trying to find the ball, and they won't be finding the ball. The guy told him, what did you say? Repeat the last, very, very English,
I know.
English
He wants to
journalist.
find out. And you know, Eric Ten Hag is out of the club, so they don't
But,
have someone to go at.
you know,
Maybe they've chosen Enzo Maresca to be the guy they go at. Ruben
once again,
Amorim
guys,
is such a good orator. They failed
yeah,
to find a way
they
to
failed to
get
find
him.
a
You
way.
know, they always want a Manchester United manager because that's how they make the news.
Please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. We are officially signing out. Sports Jazz. See you tomorrow. Cheers. Of course, glory, glory, Man United.